Can you tell me the different connectors in Studio?
AnyPoint Studio have many connectors like HTTP connector, mail connector, file connector, FTP connectors, and database connector, JMS connector, web service consume connector, Salesforce connector, Java connectors.
Okay. Tell me something about this database connector.
Database connector is basically used to connecting to any relational database and through which we are uh, fetching the data or putting the data to them. And we are using it to this connector like a DB connector name, and it has many functions like insert function, update, and bulk update, DML function, like these things.
Okay. Can you tell me some functions that come under this DML?
DML function generally is in the database, right?
Yes, yes.
DML function have this generally is a select function and insert and update and delete, and these are the DML functions.
Okay. And can you tell me like the operations that come under this DCL?
DCL is generally is a data control language which or grant or revoke this type of commands in there.
Can you tell me how can we join two tables?
We have this and there's a function, this a join. It has generally self join or inner join or left join or outer join.
Okay. Can you tell me the command?
Like if you have to combine two tables from table A or table B, and then we have to select a column name from table one, then and then table name from column name from table two, and then join, then uh, T2 from and the common ID columns which are both in the same, like T1.id equals to T2.id.
Okay. And can you tell me how can we find the record of suppose maximum salary?
Then there's a max function, like we have to select start from where sal is greater than, select max sal from employee.
And you think greater than will work
Equals to actually because it
yes,
was where sal equals to select max sal from employee.
because you are already
Mm.
using this max,
And
so there is no
yes.
use of greater than.
Mm.
Okay. And can you tell me the configuration to use this Salesforce connector?
Salesforce connector, we have this connector from, we have to take this Salesforce connector from the mail palette, and we have to take this the configuration details from the Salesforce team, like security token and URLs and user ID and passwords.
Okay. And who will provide this?
Salesforce team will provide these things.
Okay. Okay. Can you tell me few routers?
Routers generally we use like scatter getter router and this choice router and API kit router.
Okay. What is API kit router?
API kit router is for validating the request taking getting from the client through the RAML, and is sending this request to the respectively placeholder flow.
Uh, uh, Talking about the placeholder flows, what is the criteria of selecting the number of placeholder flows that are created?
It depends on the number of methods, how many methods we define in the RAML, total number
Okay,
of.
okay, fine. Can you tell me some scopes?
The scopes generally we use like try scopes and this on error continue, on error propagates, and for. for each scope, and this async scope, catch scope, until successful scope, this batch job, badge steps, raise error.
Can you tell
These
me the difference between this for each scope and batch job?
for each scope, generally here we used to process a small amount of data, while batch job is processing a huge amount of data. And for each the second point, for each is generally is processing in parallelly, and while the sequence, sorry, for each is processing data sequentially, and while batch job is processing randomly. If for each have any error, and then just stop the processing, while batch job is continuing this process.
Okay. Okay, suppose I have a bulk amount of records that needed to be processed, but I also want to maintain the sequence of processing. So is there
Then
any option for that?
so we are using this parallel for each.
Okay. What is its advantage?
I say parallelly processing and is accumulating the payload.
Okay. Okay, and can you explain the three phases in batch job?
Batch job has three phases. First is load and dispatch phase, which is implicit one, and in which the records are breaking in, in the batches and is storing in the queue. And the second one is the process phase records process, and in which these records are processing, and then by there's another scope, batch step scope, and each batch step they are taking the records from the queue and processing it and return back in the queue. And the third one is on complete phase, where we is generating the statical report of which I mentioned there's how many records totally processed, and out of them how many successfully processed, and how many out of them is failed.
Okay. Okay, fine. Can you tell me what is the design center?
A design center is a component from the Anypont platform, where we are designing our API specification through the RAML, and we are mocking it, and also we are creating the fragments also.
Okay. And can you tell me the different the examples like we what we create in this API fragments?
API fragments generally we create like it's a reusable component of the RAML, like traits and resource type, data type, libraries, and scheme security schemes.
Okay. And what is a trait?
Trait is a type of fragments that reusable component, and is like a function which defining the method behavior of the method, whether it is searchable or not, and pageable.
Okay. And how can we include an external RAML inside another RAML?
We are using there's a key like not include and the path of the that file
Okay. And what is the key to use this trait?
is a keyword.
Okay. And can you tell me some API policies?
Generally, you use API policy like basic authentication, rate limit, and rate limit SLA based, and IP block list, IP blacklist,
Okay.
client ID enforcement.
Okay. What is API auto discovery?
API to discovery is a mechanism to pairing the API which are running in the runtime manager.
Okay. And where do we register this?
We are API to discovery, right?
Yes, yes.
We are registering is in the our there's a global element. There's a AP auto discovery component.
Okay. Okay, name some database functions.
Generally used data function is like map object, filter filter object, and this reduce function, and then split by, join by, min max, is even, is out. plug
Mhm.
functions.
Can you tell me what is the use of this P function?
P function, we are using it to or reading the properties from the property value.
Okay. And what is can you tell me its like structure?
P then under bracket the key name.
Okay. And what is lookup function?
Lookup function is using to calling private flow through the data view.
Okay. Can you tell me the structure?
Lookup and then private flow name, then the payload, and the option is the hard time mentioned in the milliseconds.
Okay. Okay, I'm done from my side. Do you have any question?
Thank you. And yesterday also they asked me one question, the difference between the cache and object